So my name is Joe Charry. I'm 23 years old and I attended Joyce Franklin Academy of Newport as a secondary school. I went on to study at Easton College after that, getting a level 3 diploma, and I worked for Hertfordshire Borough Council as a landscape conservation officer.
So my name's Hannah, I'm 25 years old and I work for Hertfordshire County Council. I'm currently a HR L&D officer managing the business support team, but I did go to school in Bassingbourne Village College, which is in Cambridgeshire.
My name is Keely Mitchell, I'm 23 years old. I went to the Cavendish School, which is now the Laureate Academy in Hemel Hempstead, and I am a town planner at Dacorum Borough Council.
So my job role is quite varied. Overall, I'm responsible for the management of the council's woodlands and nature reserves. So what I do is I allocate the appropriate management and work to our contractors and volunteers for all of our sites.
So at the moment I'm a HR L&D officer, so we look after the training of the entire council for their soft skills. So that's things like diversity and inclusion, general training to get them adequately trained to do their roles. So we book people on, we manage their online learning accounts, help them through queries.
I make places for people to live, work, visit. I don't, as a planner, construct buildings. I recommend where they should go, how they relate to their surroundings, what they should be used for.
I think for me it's a great privilege to be able to have the natural landscape as my office, and another thing is that it's such a pleasure when I'm out and about on my site that a lot of the time it doesn't even feel like I'm really working.
In my current role I enjoyed the people management and the project management, so I had to work with lots of different teams across the council, so that sort of developed my communication skills, negotiation skills, technical skills, because it was a new system that I had to learn before training other people.
I guess what I enjoy about planning is how versatile it is. I enjoy that I do something completely different every day. I'm always working with different people. I love the diversity of specialisms, I love the diversity of thought.
I find it quite challenging, like most jobs in local government, to be able to try and please everyone all of the time. But nonetheless, I always try and reach some sort of resolution that pleases the majority of people where possible.
In my current role, I would say I find challenging not being able to find suitable solutions as quick as I'd like to, because the sort of golden thread between my role and the Hertfordshire County Council's objectives is to make sure that all of the staff are adequately trained to provide the services to our service users.
We have a lot of uncertainty at the moment when government policy changes, and we know we've had an awful lot of that. Then planning policy changes and we react. It's also no secret that councils are facing increasing pressures with their resourcing. So we have to change the way we plan and the way we deliver services for people in a way that we're making the best use of the resources that we have and the people that we've got.
So Hertfordshire Borough Council is a local government district in southern Hertfordshire. We have approximately 125,000 residents that we provide services for. And I'm part of the landscape and ecology team, which is in the neighbourhood and resident directorate. So the wider landscape team are responsible for things such as trees, allotments, planting, planning applications, any landscaping and stuff like that.
So the wider organisation, we have 6 directorates. We look after adult care services, children's services, community protection, which is like the firefighters and stuff, public health, which is kind of in the name, environment and sustainable growth, and what's the last? Resources, which is the directorate I'm in.
Dacorum Borough Council as an organisation is a local government organisation. We represent the whole council and we're politically neutral. I think the organisation sits under a lot of other bodies and it has a role to bring all of these bodies together and make planning decisions. So we work with county councils, we work with charities, we work with schools, we work with architects, engineers, the construction industry, and deliver these through planning decisions and through writing policy.
So apart from my relevant degree that I undertook, I also was part of various student placements which provided me with the relevant skills to be able to undertake these jobs. I think that was largely down to my placements as a student.
So I'd done a lot of individual research, I suppose, to to see what other options were for me, because I didn't like the idea of crippling student debt after going to uni. So I came across the Hertfordshire County Council Business Admin Scheme, which is where you get placed in different areas across the business and just get a business admin qualification. And by getting my foot in the door there, I was open to the opportunities, internal vacancies. I saw one in HR. I knew that I enjoyed business studies and stuff at college, so I went for it. And since then, I've kind of gradually climbed the career ladder.
I got into my current role having taken a very academic path through school. I did the 11 GCSEs, I went into sixth form, I did A-levels, I got into top uni, and then I came home because I didn't like it. And I worked behind a bar for a year, and I used that time to really focus myself and think, right, what do I actually want to be doing? And I applied for this job at Decorum just because I thought this really aligns well with my interests. It was for a graduate job, didn't have a degree, but I thought I might as well just go for it. And here I am 4 years later.
So what I studied at GCSE was actually largely unrelated to what I'm doing now. I had done PE, music, maths, art and Spanish. I did go on to study a year of A-levels after that, but it wasn't for me. So that's when I went to college to study Level 3 Extended Diploma in Countryside and Wildlife Management, which then enabled me to progress from FE to an undergraduate degree in ecology and conservation management.
When I got to sixth form, that was where I started obviously making decisions based on my interests. So I undertook sociology, psychology, film and media studies and business studies. That was really what sort of led me in the direction of business admin going forward. So I wanted to work with other people and help them in some way, shape or form. And whilst what I'm doing isn't technically like counselling, working in HR is very people focused, and it is about helping people find resolution.
I jumped from interest to interest based on what I thought was cool as a child, and then I found planning, and it really aligns well with my interests. And I think if planning was taught to me, I would have thought, that is ticking a hell of a lot of boxes.
In 5 to 10 years' time, I would hope to have some experience of working abroad. I'd like to possibly work on some projects, international projects, conservation-wise, and I have roots in South America as well, so I think it'd be a great privilege to be able to benefit different landscapes such as South America.
In 5 to 10 years' time, I would like to see myself as the HR manager. So that's just basically climbing up the career ladder a little bit more, managing a wider team and looking at more of the strategic objectives of learning and development.
I always want to be growing my skill set. I like a challenge. I want to dive in head first. I want opportunities. You know, I want bigger projects to manage and maybe a little team to lead. I can see myself really growing in this career, really building mastery, and I'd like to be able to say in 5 to 10 years that I could walk into any department and be a core resource to that I've built my expertise and my skills. Don't be afraid to want things, to want to achieve, but at the same time, don't feel pressured to be on someone else's timeline. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. Keep doing what you're doing, especially with the pressures, with people trying to get in, you're going to be fine.
Just really, really simple, go for it. If it's something that interests you, it doesn't have to be a forever job, it doesn't have to be a forever role, just an opportunity to sort of spread your wings, find your feet and go for it, get experience.